Yes, guys, hello and welcome back to the Spurs-related YouTube channel and podcast. I hope everyone is doing very well this evening. Today, we have a Tottenham versus Aston Villa match preview, as well as a look back at all of the international break fixtures and results and how our boys basically got on for their international teams. Back with the usual lineup, back with the familiar faces. As you can see, I'm joined alongside Thomas Frank's AI son, Frank Thomas. Frank, it's been a little while since we did a live stream together. How are you doing, mate? Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm all good. I'm pleased to be back. It's been a bit of a while, bit of a break. We're back, hopefully ready to talk about Tottenham winning some more games. And I'm looking forward to the football being back as well in the next week or so.
Absolutely. The international break has felt a bit draining. England are playing, I believe, again tomorrow against Latvia in a World Cup qualifier. It's World Cup qualifier, isn't it? World Cup qualifier. Yeah. I mean, pretty much qualified anyway, aren't we? So it's essentially a dead rubber. That's how a lot of these international games feel. But we will take a little look about how our players got on to start with, and then we'll have more of a deep dive look into the Aston Villa game on Sunday at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at, I believe, 2 p.m. kickoff. So looking forward to that. If you are watching on repeat, please whack in your comments. As always, I love reading them. I love replying to them. Frank and I do. And if you're watching live now and you're literally in the chat, make sure you're joining us and you're hitting the like button as you come in. You're smashing the notification bell if you are also new to the stream, and you are subscribing if you are new. I have noticed the subscriber numbers have slowed down. It is what it is. It's a quiet period. It's not the transfer window, and it's obviously not even the club fixtures sort of going on, so I understand it. We actually dropped below 4.4k just as I came live. So guys, if you are new to the stream, please do hit subscribe. Please do hit like and turn on the notification bell. If you are new, we are getting into things. I'm going to welcome on a few people in the chat. Rodney Martin was in here first. He said, good evening, big up, Rodney. Thank you for joining us, mate. Really do appreciate it, and I hope you're doing well. And we got a membership from Blaine himself, Super Spurs TV. Blaine, that is very generous of you. Thank you very much. I believe you were already a member, so maybe that means you've been a member for a whole month. I'm actually quite new to how all this membership stuff works. I'm really bad at it. But let us know if you've just renewed, mate. That's really appreciated, and I hope you're doing well, mate. It's always good fun reading your WhatsApps in the Spurs talk show WhatsApp group. There's always carnage going on in there. And Henry is in here. He says, COYS, big up, Henry. Hope you are doing well. I'm trying to work out what your profile picture is, and I'm probably not going to understand what that is. Frank, any guesses what that is?
No, I've got no clue. Absolutely no clue whatsoever. Oh wait, is it the Queen?
The Queen
or a king? It looks like someone with a crown on.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is. It is. Sorry, I thought I'd lost my mind. You're spot on. That's exactly what it is. Wow. Anyway, we digress. Thank you all for joining us. We will get into the show. We will talk about how our boys got in the international break. And we're starting off with this man, Pedro Porro, our right back, who played 75 minutes in Spain's 2-0 win versus Georgia. And he was giving a 9.1 sofa score rating, the highest out of any player on the pitch. And obviously you have to take that with a pinch of salt. Some of these player ratings and, FootMob, sofa score, flash scores, they're all very different and they're quite often very off. However, Frank, I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch Spain versus Georgia. I don't know about you, but that sounds very promising in that he must have had a pretty decent game, right?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't. I'll be really honest. I didn't even watch England the other night, so I'm very tapped out of the sport in the last week. But I heard quite a lot of good stuff about him actually, and I watched a little compilation on him. Obviously, it doesn't tell the whole story, but it looked like he played really well, which is good. Because he's not always a guaranteed starter for Spain. So it's good for him ahead of the World Cup year. It's probably more negative for Tottenham. I don't really want him playing. So I don't want him to get injured or anything. But in terms of him, it's good news for him. And I think he's one that needed a rest coming into this break, and so it's a little bit irritating that he's playing. Hopefully that means he'll be left out of their other game this week because he tends to play one of the two for Spain. So hopefully he'll be left out this week. He'll have a nice free week going into Villa and be fit for next Sunday.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, and yeah, good to hear you saw a compilation of him playing well. That's always good to see because he has had quite a rocky start to the season in a Tottenham shirt. I would say, like defensively, very very poor. I think you would agree, especially against Bodo Glimt and Brighton. He got skinned a few times in that game. Arguably cost us points. However, I think he did play pretty well. I think it was against Leeds, so he's had a very up and down start to the season. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think so. I think other than that City second half, I haven't actually been like majorly impressed with him.
Mm.
I think he's had games where he's been better and decent, and I thought Leeds he was decent. But I think the large majority of the games so far this season, he's been pretty whatever. So I think he probably needs a rest this week to come back fully fresh and fit ahead of Villa, and hopefully improve a little bit.
Absolutely, mate. And just very quickly, is he your starting? Is he your starting right back at the moment?
Yeah. I think so. For me, it's him and Udogie should be the fullbacks in any sort of big game. If you had a cup final tomorrow, I'd start those two. Yeah.
Okay. Guys, let us know if you agree on Pedro Porro. We'll bring up some of his stats from that game in just 1 second. I just wanted to say hello to my friend Emil. Big up Emil. Hope you're good, mate. And yeah, as I said in the chat the other day, not a great result for the Bulgaria boys. A 6-1 defeat against Turkey at home was a pretty tough one, Frank. I have to say, and a lot of people on the back of it are saying we should sign Kenan Yildiz and Arda Güler. I'll tell you one thing, we're definitely not signing Arda Güler. He's probably one of Real Madrid's better players at the moment. I don't know why that rumour's even come out. Kenan Yildiz, again, it's going to cost us like a ridiculous amount, like ridiculous money, 100 million plus. And I don't even know if you'd want to come to Tottenham. But anyway, that was my thoughts on the Turkey players. But Pedro Porro's stats versus Georgia, you've kindly pulled out for us, Frank. 75 minutes played, 110 touches, 71 accurate passes, 11 passes into the final third, 6 chances created, 6 accurate crosses, 5 accurate long balls, 4 big chances created, 4 ground duels won. That's an important one considering we just talked about his defensive capabilities. 3 interceptions, again, very good. 2 out of 2 tackles won. 2 shots, 2 block shots. I presume both of those shots were blocked, if that is how I'm reading it. 1 out of 1 successful dribbles. 1 times he's hit the woodwork. 1 foul won and 1 recovery. Unbelievable, this page says. Frank, all very good stats, would you say?
Yeah, good numbers. As I say, when Porro's playing well, I really mean this, and this isn't just because I'm a week into the international break and losing my mind. When Porro's playing well, the guy is one of the better right backs in the league, certainly, which
You were going to say world.
Argues Europe. I
Yeah?
think I don't think he's too dissimilar when he's playing well to Trent, and I mean that in terms of his numbers are unbelievably high as a wing back. Defensively, do I think he's that incredible? No, but I think he's capable enough. Better than Trent, certainly, and so I think he's brilliant. But that consistency isn't always there. So if that can build across the season and we can start seeing these performances more and more often, then I think you've got one of the best right backs in Europe actually at Tottenham. And I really mean that.
Yeah, fair enough. I think you're right. I think when he's on it, he's arguably, the different version of Trent in terms of his ball playing ability, in terms of his attacking ability and his passing range. I think you're right there. But again, Trent always got seen at Liverpool as not being good defensively, and it's very similar to Pedro Porro here. So I completely agree. I do think, at the end of the day, there's definitely more weaknesses in the team. We can't be starting to say Pedro Porro is a weakness unless his defensive, what's the word? His defensive incapabilities at times put us into danger and lose us more and more points. Then it's obviously an issue, isn't it? But again, I think it depends. Some games I reckon you play Jed Spence there for rotation because he's a more defensively solid option at fullback. But obviously, a lot of people prefer Jed Spence at left back. I don't personally agree with that opinion. Frank, I know you've had your doubts of Jed Spence at left back with the fact that he's very one-footed and it's so obvious what he's doing, cutting inside on his right, and doesn't seem to really find many crosses. Not to completely dig at Jed Spence here because I think he is a fantastic player. I just think you play him in certain games and you play Jed Spence Pedro Porro in certain games, and I think you have to rotate it. But guys, let us know. Maybe put a 1 in the chat, in the live chat, if you think Pedro Porro is your starting right back for Tottenham going forwards, and put a 2 if not, and obviously tell us if you think it should be Jed Spence. But Mill said, yeah, brutal loss for the Balkan boys. Absolutely love it. Well, I don't love it. I think I feel a bit sorry for you, mate. But all good. So next one, Mickey van der Ven played 71 minutes in Netherlands, 4-0 win versus Finland. His international break is over. You'll be pleased to know, I think the key factor here is no injuries again. Which is always a positive. Frank, you always, always panic when some of these players go out for international games, especially when they're a bit of dead rubber or, a friendly game. It's a bit frustrating if they come back injured, especially if they're a very key player. But pretty good. And same again for Xavi Simons. He only played 11 minutes in Netherlands, 4-0 win, but he did get an assist, Frank. I didn't see the assist. I don't know if you did, but that's pretty good news, right?
Yeah, it was. I think it was for Cody Gakpo. He'd been on the pitch for about 30 seconds, or something, which is again good. And to say, he's played a limited number of times. I think he played 60 or 70 minutes in the first game as well. So pretty minimal minutes. Hopefully he's come back fit, and then we're going to be in a good place where hopefully, and I mean he should start on Sunday against Villa with Kudus one side and one of the two French ones on the left-hand side, I'd imagine, who are both playing well tonight. Tell with a goal and assist as we speak, and Odegaard with an assist for the Tell goal for France under-21s, which is nice. So I imagine one of those will be in the team with I'm hoping we sort of see Solanke back in the possibly in the squad this weekend as well. So starting to take shape, that front line with Simons hopefully back fit, or coming back fit, hopefully.
Excellent. I didn't realise they're playing now. So yeah, well spotted. Tell with a goal. And an assist, did you say? I
think so, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Excellent. Yeah, you're right. You got the second goal assist. They're 3-1 up. Absolutely brilliant. Tell and Odegaard seem to absolutely smash it for the France under-21s. They just need to start smashing it for the Tottenham boys as well, don't they? But Emil's saying, Xavi Simons, what a baller. And we've got Average Mirage fan in the house. Big yourself up, mate. It's been a little while. He says, I will lose it if Bentancur and Paulinho play together again. We'll get on to that. We'll talk about the Aston Villa game and our predicted lineups in about 5-10 minutes. So hold fire. We are coming to that. I'm just doing a little bit of a international roundup, and then we'll come back to that thought. So hold that thought. Mohamed Kudus played 76 minutes and scored the goal in Ghana's 1-0 win versus Comoros. Is that how you say that? Comoros?
Yeah.
Apologies if I got that wrong. I should probably do better considering I studied geography at school and college. So slap myself on the wrist for that. But his international break is now over. Well, can't say much fairer than that, mate. 1-0 win. Looks like a tight game. And then he got the winner.
Yeah, it was quite a nice little goal as well, actually. In at the back post, it was a decent goal. So, I mean, listen, it's important. I want to say they've qualified now for the World Cup. I'm pretty sure. I think last night meant they did. It obviously with him and Semenyo up front, it's probably pretty expected. But good nonetheless. Another one we can watch that's our own in the World Cup next year. But yeah, good result for him. And again, I'm glad that he's hopefully escaped injury, because he's the one that I'm really concerned about getting injured, because I think he's so important.
Yeah, he's super key. He's probably our most important player at the moment, certainly offensively, maybe in the whole team. But yeah, completely agree. Did you say Ghana had just qualified, or they already qualified?
I think as of that 1-0 win, they qualified, but I could be totally wrong.
Super
I'll check it, but I'm pretty sure.
And hopefully we'll have another player of ours to watch from Ghana in not too distant future in Antoine Semenyo. That would be a nice addition to our team, wouldn't it? But definitely not the midfielder, the unnamed 33-year-old that seems to play every game for them as well. So we don't mention much about him. But I hope you all had a great time. I've been busy. Hope things have been good your side, and all is well, mate. It's good to see you back in the chat. But Kevin Danzo was an unused substitute in Austria's 1-0 loss versus Romania. I'm pretty sure Austria won like 10-0 the other day as well. I'm pretty sure it was Austria, which was absolutely nuts. I don't know if you saw that, Frank. I'm just double checking if it was Austria.
It was. I think it was that game where every single player that started outfield got a goal or an assist, which is incredible. Danso included.
Oh, it was against San Marino. There you go. 10-0 in a you got a feel for San Marino. 10-0 in a was it a qualifier? Yeah, it was a qualifier as well.
Yeah, that's a rough result.
That is rough, but then obviously not too special. I mean, they lost 1-0 in the 95th minute to Romania away. But I don't know if he had a good game in that one, but yeah, at least he's got some minutes. And obviously Danzo struggled to get minutes, really, hasn't he, for Tottenham? Obviously came in for that Bodo Glimt game. But on the whole, it's obviously been Van der Ven and Romero. So good to see him getting minutes where he deserves them. And listen, I think he's a very, very key part of the squad. Just because he's not starting every game for Tottenham doesn't mean he's a key part. He's arguably our most important backup centre-back or rotation centre-back. I know people don't like the word backup. Do you agree, Frank?
Yeah, I think in this case, he's a rotation. I think usually backup I don't really mind, but I think in this case he's a rotation player that is really important. I mean, you could argue that they wouldn't have won the Europa League last year without him, which I don't think would be a crazy argument. Because obviously he came in, he allowed Romero and Van der Ven that freedom to be able to not play in the league, and then right at the end of the actual final itself, with a cleared sort of one out with a ridiculous header, and kind of kept us in it right at the end. So he's been a really, really good signing for Tottenham, and I think he's a really important player. And I think once one of those two end up getting injured, which it will happen eventually, just because players don't tend to play every single game in a season, so one of those two will miss a game at some point. He's a really brilliant player I think to come in as a rotational player and have, because I think as a backup centre half, he's probably one of the better sort of options in the Premier League.
No, I agree, mate. I agree, and players that sit on the bench for sort of 80-90% of the time and are there when you need them are very important players, because when things go wrong, let's take Liverpool, for example, not had the best start to the Premier League season, started insanely well in the first 5 games. And then obviously in the last 2 or 3 games, have had a bit of a shocker. But you look at their centre-back sort of rotation options, and I'd argue that that's not strong enough. They've got that young Italian guy, not Prem-proven yet. They've obviously got Konate and Van Dijk who start. And then you're looking at Joe Gomez. So it's like, or maybe I've forgotten one other, but like, it's not like insanely strong, is it? So it's very important to have a player like Kevin Danzo, and hopefully Dragusin comes back and does well as well, because they are there to be there in the smaller games, but also in the games where you unfortunately do get injuries, right?
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing, that once Dragusin's back as well, having Dragusin and Danso as your backups, if that's what you want to call them, it is brilliant, right? You've got a cup game in January and you're playing Burnley in the cup, and that is far greater than being strong enough for that sort of level. But it's also, you're giving you the opportunity to rest the other two without weakening that side drastically. And so yeah, I'd be very pleased with those two as the backups or rotation options. And then obviously in a year's time, you've got Vuskovic to come back. Ashley Phillips, if they rate him, Dorrington's still there as well. So they've got young options there. Coach Takai is still there, obviously, and hopefully he's going to be back fit soon, and maybe we can see a little bit of him here and there. So they've got options, and that's really good. But I certainly think Danso is the number 3 at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree, mate. Completely agree. Let us know what you think. Do you agree with Danzo being our number 1 choice centre-back as a rotation option? Put a 1 in the chat if you do. Put a 2 in the chat if you think it's someone else. Maybe you think it's Dragusin. Maybe you think it's Kota Takai. But Yves Bissouma was stretched off seconds into his competitive return for Mali. It seems to be a bad ankle injury, leaving Bissouma visibly distressed. Now, Frank, not to make this show all about Bissouma, and I don't want to, obviously, firstly, that is terrible news in terms of the injury. That is, that's wishing him a speedy recovery. But what I was going to say was, do you think that this is a lack of game time and being ready to play, or do you think this is just a freak injury? Because you have to think he hasn't played properly really since the end of last season. And And so when some players do come back and they get back on the pitch, you are susceptible to injuries like that. And obviously, it's terrible. I hope he gets fit ASAP. And I wish it did work for him at Spurs properly, because he's had his moments, hasn't he? But the fact that he's got an ankle injury, I don't know how bad it is since then. I don't know if they've done a scan or anything, Frank. Maybe you know more than me. But that is a big concern. Do you not agree?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the update since. I don't know if you've seen the tackle or not, where it happened. But basically, he was subbed on, and within 15 seconds, the ball fell to him on the edge of the penalty area, and he took it around someone, and he just got clattered. It was not a great challenge,
Right, okay.
but it wasn't like a dreadful tackle that you'd think would result in a foul. It just was a pretty sloppy challenge. And he kind of tried to get up and then realised that he just couldn't and just flopped back down. So he looked like he was in a lot of pain. I think it's probably a mixture of having not played, having just got unlucky, it just being a pretty poor tackle, sort of a mix of a few different things that probably all just equated to it. Again, I hope for him that he's okay. I hope for Tottenham that he's okay, because if he's not okay and he's broken his ankle and he's going to be out for 5 months, then it's going to be bloody difficult to sell him in January, which I imagine what I think they will be planning. Well, that's at least what I guess they are. So I'm hoping that for everyone he's okay, and it's kind of just a sort of a contact sort of injury, and he'll be okay in the next little while. Because as I say, Spurs will want to get him gone. I assume in January, and I'm sure he'll probably want to go in January to go and get some game time ahead of the World Cup as well. So it's important.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. And a player with as much talent as Yves Bissouma, like, let's be honest, maybe he doesn't have the off the pitch sort of he's not locked in off the pitch. And on the pitch, but we had that thing with the balloons and the thing at the nightclub and all the off-field stuff, which I don't really want to talk about. But it's kind of frustrating, because if he just asserted himself properly as a professional, 100%. Not to say he hasn't at times. He would be a very, very good player. I think he genuinely is probably one of the most talented midfielders in our squad. I don't think that's a silly thing to say. I just think there's that mentality issue and things challenging him off the pitch that have been a problem. And so I would have really liked Bissouma to work properly at Tottenham. Like, I think we're going to look back at Bissouma a little bit, not quite as much as in Ndombele, but a little bit like that, as like, what if, he had bags of talent, mate, like bags of talent. Like, he was Brighton's best player by probably a country mile when we signed him, or certainly one of. And it's a shame he's not made himself sort of part of the furniture at Tottenham and really cemented himself as being a Tottenham star week in, week out. And you have to look at the off the pitch things, mate. Not that I want to talk about it, but it has been a factor. So it's a shame, and I wish he can come back soon. But I mean, say he's out for a few weeks, like you said, they're probably going to sell him in January. I think they were looking to sell him in the summer, and it didn't come off to those Turkish teams. So anyway, we wish Bissouma all the best, and we see what happens, don't we, Frank? So we move on. Guys, let us know what you think on Bissouma. But Cristian Romero, our captain, my leader. Oh, what's happened there? You pushed me back.
Me. Sorry.
You wanted to go back and talk about Bissouma. Romero, he was the most accurate passer, 98% accuracy on his passes, who played more than 45 minutes. He got a 7.3 rating against Venezuela, if my geography is correct there by that flag. What did you make of his performance, mate? Did you see any of it or hear any of his good parts? That obviously clean sheet is a big factor, and sounds like he passed the ball well. How important is Romero for Tottenham, mate? And what did you make of his performance in the international break? If you, I can't imagine you watched Argentina versus Venezuela, but what do you make of this?
No, I mean, I did, as I said, I didn't even watch England, so staying up till 3 a.m. to watch Argentina was an absolute no go. But the one thing I kind of liked was that he captained Argentina that night.
Did he?
So yeah, which I thought was good. Obviously, Messi didn't play, but in his absence, he captained them, which I thought was big. Says a lot. Obviously, he's our captain, so it's not that great of a shock, but it says a lot because he's top, right? The guy's elite. The guy's elite, and yeah, I love him, and I'm so glad. I saw a thing yesterday. Someone pulled up a tweet from about the middle of June, and it was about how Romero and Spurs were kind of agreeing to sell him to Atletico Madrid for like £40 million, and you just realise how much one nonsense there is out there, and two, the fact that we were kind of just accepting of that is insane. He's unbelievable, and he's showing that now. Now we're playing in a system where we are defensively solid, and we have a structure, and we are not just this chaotic sort of mess. He's showing how good he is, and I mean, it's no shock. It's no shock to anyone, that's a Spurs fan or that has watched him, throughout the last couple of years properly, and not just listening to people on the telly tell you he's rash and that he loves the yellow card. If you actually watch him properly, you realise how good he is, and I think this year he's going to get his flowers because I think he's bloody brilliant.
Yeah, no, I think nail on the head, mate. I think you're right. I don't have much to add to that. I think like you said, maybe 2 seasons ago, you can understand some of the pundits saying, he's too rash, because he was getting a lot more yellow cards. Let's be honest, he was getting a lot more yellows and reds when he first joined Spurs. I think the stats are there to show that, but I think he has sort of sometimes goes into like sort of almost headbutts, doesn't he? Not headbutts, but like clashes with the opposition and stuff like that. But yeah, he's been absolutely excellent, and he's had his moments where he's not been perfect, but I agree he's very, very important player. I've just been told by my co-producer that I'm lagging a bit, so apologies if I am lagging a little bit. We have to try and fix those technical difficulties at some point. So we will try and do that. So Frank, I'll hand the mic back to you, and we'll do a little preview of the Aston Villa game. But before we do so, hopefully you guys can all hear me. I would love it if you guys could all hit the like button down below. There's 60 of you watching across X, YouTube, and Facebook. If you are watching on X, aka Twitter, or Facebook, please come on over to our YouTube channel. It is free to do so, and hit the subscribe button on there. If you are new to the stream, please hit subscribe. We are a couple off 4.4K again, and turn on the notification bell if you are new to the stream as well. All 3 of those are free to do so. The membership option is available, as Blaine kindly did earlier, which means you can come on these streams and have your say as well, and also get priority in the chat. And the super chat option is available if you're in a position to do so and want to help financially, which is most appreciated, of course, but it's not compulsory. But appreciate you guys tuning in and showing your support with the like button, the notification bell, and the subscription. But Frank, let's just very quickly do a quick look ahead to Villa. I'm sure we'll do another video or stream to preview it in more depth, because we have talked for 20 minutes about the international break. Always underestimate how much we talk about them. But this is the head-to-head. This is the Tottenham home record against Villa. Frank, do you want to just quickly take us through it and your thoughts?
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, last year was good. We were 1-0 down at half time, and then the second half was unbelievable. And I think under Ange, they kind of suited the way we played Villa. So we beat them 4-0 in away from home as well the year before, about the March time. So they kind of suited us. Before that, though, the one before that was also under Ange. I mean, we absolutely battered them that day, and Gio scored a lovely goal, but somehow we didn't win that one. I vaguely remember the one.
Sorry, I'm really sorry. What is going on here? Like, he come in with a Neymar shirt, and he's now got a picture of his Stone Island joggers. I mean, what are we doing here, Stan? And also, what is this 6-7 nonsense? Sorry to interrupt your flow, Frank. There's some things you just have to ask yourself. What is 6-7 like? I mean, what are we doing here? Anyway, average Mirage fans saying we did speak about Bissouma. I'm so sorry, Frank. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. But I had to ask the question. I'm sure Stan is absolutely buzzing. He's got his little shout out.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is.
Go
on. No, but yeah, they've been sort of very on and off since Villa have been back in the Premier League. I mean, the one right at the bottom of the screen, I think, was their first game back in the Premier League, I want to say. Was it? When they came back, and that was the one where Tanguy scored a lovely goal in his debut. And then since then, we've not been amazing. I want to say the 2-1 just above it in 2021 was the Reguilon own goal, which was just a disaster of a game. But all in all, we don't have an incredible record against them at home. in recent years. I mean, it's quite split. But Villa have started the season quite poorly. We've started the season quite strongly. I think Villa kind of suit us anyway, because I think we have players that can hit you on the counter attack. I think Villa are susceptible to that, and so I'm quite confident for this weekend, to be honest. Based even looking at that, which isn't the most positive sort of string of fixtures I've ever seen. Results, I should say.
Absolutely, and we go to the head-to-head in general. So this includes the matches at Villa Park. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I mean, again, when you look through it, sort of thing, the 2-0 at the very top of the screen was about 4 days before the cup final, wasn't it? 3 days before the cup final last year, our final. So that was obviously thrown. The 2-1 in the cup, we were just completely burnt out. I think we were probably actually better than them on the night as well. Obviously, we won 4-0 there. As I say, before that, the 2-1, which was in May down the bottom, that was right, I want to say, under Ryan Mason. Right
really?
at the end of that season where we were dreadful. So we haven't really played them at Villa Park like during the season, or haven't really played. I know we're not playing Villa Park. We haven't really played. It's rare we seem to play Villa when it really matters, weirdly. And whenever it does seem to really matter, bar probably that FA Cup game, we seem to come out on top. And so I'm quietly confident that we will do a job on them this weekend and continue sort of the unbeaten run.
Okay. Lovely stuff. What do you think then, mate? You said you're quietly confident that you think we're going to do a job on them. It's a big game. Our home form has been terrible. Let's not forget about that. In terms of Bournemouth lost 1-0, Wolves 1-1. I think out of our points, we've been much better away. I think we've got one of the better away records in the league at the moment. But our home record is kind of letting us down. I'm trying to think what the other home Premier League game was. It was Bournemouth, Wolves.
Burnley, Bournemouth.
Burnley obviously won. Is that it? Burnley, Wolves, and Bournemouth. Is that it?
And then we've been away to City, Brighton, West Ham, and Leeds. Yeah, 7. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but in the Champions League, it wasn't convincing, was it, against Villarreal? So maybe I'm being a bit too harsh saying our home form, but that is where we've been let down: the Bournemouth game and the Wolves game, right? So
yeah.
if we got the 3 points in both of those games, we'd be at the top of the table. What's your score prediction then, very quickly, mate? And like I said, we will do a more in-depth analysis on the game. It's a bit early to be talking about lineups and everything like that. So please do. If you are new to the channel, or if you're not new to the channel and you want to make sure you see that video where we dive a little bit more deep on the preview, that'll probably come out about Thursday or Friday, I'd imagine. Please do hit the like button, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe. If you get the notification bell on, you'll never miss that video that comes out. So please do me a massive favor, guys. Let me know if you do that. I do massively appreciate it. But Frank, score predictions, and guys, if you're in the chat now, this is your time to put your score prediction for the Villa game. Little early score prediction for 6 days' time. That will come around very quickly, but pop it in the chat now and I'll read it out. If you're watching on repeat, also please do the 3 things as well, like I just mentioned. Smash the like button, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe. And put your comments on as well for the score prediction. But Frank, what is your score prediction for the game against Villa at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 2 p.m. on Sunday, 19th of August?
I think we'll comfortably beat them, actually. I'll go 3-0 Tottenham. I'm quite confident. I don't think that they've got good players, but I don't think they have enough going forward that really worries me. I think if you keep Rodgers quiet, you probably keep Villa quiet, and I think you can get at Villa. So I'm going 3-0.
Wow, 3-0. I wouldn't have gone with that, but fair play. The only other thing I say is, would you not be concerned that Watkins and Rodgers scored for England on Friday night?
Not particularly. No? I mean, listen, they're good players. But I think if you keep Rodgers quiet and you keep Yuri Tielemans quiet, actually, providing he plays, that I think you stop them from really ticking. So I think that's why it wouldn't shock me if Bentancur and Palhinha played together, because I think they'll pair on them and try and deal with them basically.
Okay, and last point, we're going to go back to it because we promised Mirage fan we would. If I will lose it, he said, if Bentancur and Palhinha play together again, do you think that will be, like you just said, the midfield lineup? And why do you think that is the right decision? If you do think that is the right decision,
I think it will be. Because I think they will look at 1 or 2 key players that they can take out the game, and then you take Villa out of the game. Rodgers being one. And I think Tielemans probably being the other, or one of that sort of midfield pairing. I think if you can deal with that, then you can deal with basically all of their balls through and things. And so I think they'll want two sort of tough tacklers to deal with that and control that. And I think they'll get that in those two.
Yeah, they'll break the game down. Do you worry about offensively with those two together, though?
Not particularly. I think if you've got Simmons playing the 10 and you've got one of the French ones on the wing, on that left wing, and Kudus on the right, I'm quite content that should be enough with a Bergvall or I guess if you've got Simmons, forget that. But with Simmons in the 10, I'm quite confident that should be enough.
Yeah, I agree. With Simmons at the 10, I think the Paulinho Bentancur thing was more of an issue. It could be proven wrong when we didn't have Simmons in the 10. Yeah. I think when Simmons was out on the left and we had who was it we were playing at the 10?
Bergvall or Sarr or
yeah, I think that's when that becomes a bit more of an issue. Do you agree there?
I think so. Yeah, I agree. If you've got someone that's an actual dictator in midfield and sort of in that 10, I don't think it really should matter who's behind him. As long as they sort of control the game and dictate the way they should, then I think it all should click into place. And I think that will be the midfield pairing he'll trust.
Cool. Okay, guys, let us know what you thought. Average Mirage fans gone for a 2-0 Spurs win. Stefan Everington, you still need to let me know if you're related to Matthew Everington, because if you are, I'd love to get him on the channel. You know, ex-Spurs player, ex-West Ham player as well, actually. But big yourself up, Stefan, and Mirage, and Rodney as well has been in here the whole time. Really appreciate your support, Rodney. Top man. He's saying 1-0 Spurs. Tight affair, he thinks. We need a defensive-minded playmaker in the centre, and Bentancur isn't that. That's for another show, Mirage fan. We will definitely get into detail. But I told you I'd go back to your comment. My score prediction for the game is 2-1 Tottenham. I think it will be tighter than what Frank thinks in 3-0. And if Frank is right on 3-0, I'm going to buy him a couple of pints of the game because that is going to be spot on. But I think it will be 2-1 to Tottenham. I think it will be a tough match. I think Villa will score. And I think that we will sneak a win, which would be absolutely huge, which would still keep us 2 points behind Arsenal and 1 point behind Liverpool if they end up winning as well, which I think is important to keep the pressure on, especially with a very hard November coming up, which is the November of death, I'm calling it, because we have some tough fixtures every 3 games then, and then suddenly we will get all sorts of emotions on this channel. I bet you anything. But Emil's saying 2-1, I reckon, as well. Big up, Emil. Hope you are right, mate. Hope we can get the win. And he says, ay. Anyway, don't know what that was all about, but guys, really appreciate you all tuning in today for that little 40-minute live stream. Thank you once again to, of course, Thomas Frank's AI son for joining us. Before you all click off the video, please do me 3 massive favors. Hit the like button for me, guys. That is free to do so there's no excuses on that one. Turn on the notification bell, which is also free to do so, down below to never miss us going live and never miss a video. Really appreciate all the kind comments today, and subscribe to the channel, which really does help us out as well. Big up to Mirage, big up to Rodney, Emil, Stefan, even Stan putting in 6-7, which I still don't understand what it means. Henry and Super Spurs TV and the rest of you, might have missed a couple, that have all been in the chat and interacting. Really appreciate it, even when the numbers are low, for you guys that are really loyal and watching Spurs related stream after stream. Really appreciate that. Guys, please also go and check out Frank's channel. He hasn't been uploading as much as, we haven't in general been uploading as much, but we are going to get back onto it. Please go and check out Frank's channel as well, which I'm just about to put in the live chat as well. Go and give him a subscribe. Frank, how many subscribers are you off now of 300?
I'm actually not sure. It's only a couple, I think. It's not many.
It's only a couple. So, guys, please go and hit the subscribe button on Frank's channel as well. I'm going to pop it 3 times into the YouTube live chat. Emil, I know you haven't subscribed to him, for example, and a few of others of you. So please hit the subscribe button on that now and go and check out Frank's channel. His content will be back, I'm sure, very soon as well. And guys, that is all we have time for. We'll do more content throughout the week. As I said, notification bell on. It's really, really important. Like button, subscribe button, and we will see you very soon for another episode on Spurs Related. Thanks for watching, and remember, as always, come on, you Spurs! Come on.